Welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. This podcast is the full show from today's episode of Undisputed from start to finish. They've got a busy slate, so skip Shannon, let's get to it.
Welcome to Undisputed. We are live from LA. I'm Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe. Good morning, guys.
Yeah, real game. Come on tonight. You ready for it?
Let's do it.
You know what? That was some moment last night at Madison Square Garden. It felt almost as emotional as it's going to feel like out here at SoFi Stadium when the Dallas Cowboys win this year's Super Bowl. You ready for that?
I am not ready for that.
That was the prelude last night.
That's not going to happen. But can you imagine the ceremony going to happen when LeBron passed Kareem? They might stop the game for a whole week. Nobody played basketball for a whole week.
Well, unless he turns into LeBron, James.
There you go.
I'm not sure he's going to get there.
Boy.
There you go. Every time.
Yeah.
You don't want this man to have his moment.
Yeah.
I can't believe we just compared the Cowboys to what we saw last night. Okay, let's talk about the celebration, shall we? Steph Curry officially passed Ray Allen as the NBA's all-time three-point shooter last night at MSG, doing so in 511 fewer games than the Hall of Famer. The two-time MVP set the record early in the first quarter, and the action was stopped shortly thereafter for the celebration. And following the game, Steph said, quote, "The balance of volume and efficiency for me is the standard that I wanted to set. I never wanted to call myself the greatest shooter until I got this record, so I'm comfortable saying that now." What a quote. Shannon, why did this record become such a big deal?
Because he changed the way the game is played, Skip. Jenny read in the read, Skip, how he's taking 13 threes a game, just himself. 30 years ago, they took 14 threes. Both teams combined took 14 threes in the game. Today, they're taking 71. Two teams are combining for 71 threes a game. That's because of Steph, Skip. He changed the way we watch the game. He changed the way the game is played. Yeah. And so for me, it's the highlight, the three-point shot, Skip. Back in the day, when teams got 20-point lead, 25-point leads, you could turn the TV off. It was over.
Yep.
But with that three-point shot, a 25-point lead is not safe. They'll whittle that thing down in about 7 minutes.
Yep.
And he's done that. And so for me, Skip, it's not just the three-point shot. It's how he gets the three-point shot off.
Yep.
Reggie Miller and Ray Allen were mainly, they came off the screen type of three-point shooters.
Yep.
But Steph Curry took it a step further. He says, you know what? I'm going to hit you with the step back. Not only am I going to hit you with the step back, I'm going to hit you with the crossover step back. And then, you know what? Just to let you know how great a shooter I am, I'm going to shoot this shot and I'm going to turn around and run up the court because I already know it's good.
Yep.
And then I might high-five my guys on the sideline just so you know. Skip, he said last night, until he had this record, he wasn't ready to call himself the greatest shooter of all time. I didn't need him to get this record. I had already proclaimed it, that I had seen enough.
Yep.
I saw Reggie Miller, I saw Ray Allen, and I saw a lot of other guys. He's it. And so for me, Skip, for what he's been able to do, and he mentioned it, the volume, the efficiency in which Skip, he's not just shooting corner threes. He's shooting 20. The one that he broke the record was 28 feet. That lets you know he's shooting the ball. He's shooting more. He's shooting at a better percentage, and he's shooting them further away than anybody else has ever done. Records don't normally get broken. And so, Skip, when we talk about a record like this, we celebrate it. We know we're not going to see the rebound. Nobody's ever going to break Wilt's rebounding record. So that's safe. We didn't think anybody's going to get close to Kareem. So there's a chance that LeBron has an opportunity to break that. When you get these records, Skip, and the three-point record, nobody really thought about it. And I was listening to Reggie Miller and Ray. It was like, we shot them, but it wasn't celebrated like it is today.
Nope.
And so now it's celebrated because everybody's doing it. But nobody can do it like him.
No.
He's the godfather. Even though he didn't shoot the first three, Reggie, like he said, Reggie had the record and then Ray. But now the standard bearer for the three-point shot, everybody that comes after will get compared to, yeah, he good, but he ain't Steph Curry. You know what I'm saying? Skip, it's kind of like Jordan. Yeah, he really good, but he ain't Jordan. So now with three-point shooters, Steph Curry is going to be the gold standard. He's the measuring stick of how good you can shoot a three.
Yep.
Is he good? Is he Steph Curry good? That's going to be the question. But Steph Curry changed the way the game is played. He changed the way we watch the game. He changed the way the analytics are done. It's like, hold on. Steph Curry can make 5 threes, you make 7 twos, and he still got one more point than you got. So that's what he done. He's revolutionized the game. A 6'3" guy. Skip, normally it's bigs. A 6'3" guy changed the way we played the game of basketball. Now you got I see on highlight video, House of Highlight, Skip, they got 5 and 6-year-olds jacking up three between the legs, stepping back. I'm like, really, Steph? That's what you've done? Yeah, that's what I've done, bro.
I hear everything you just said. And to all your points, I watched this live, as I think a whole lot of people watched it live, because there was such buildup to it. And we started 4 games back with can he? And he struggled, but then we just knew this is it. The basketball gods have decreed, because he couldn't quite get there at Indiana. We're all good with that.
Right.
We won it at the Mecca.
Right.
We won it at Madison Square Garden.
You can't do it in your home arena, do it there.
You got to do it there, because all the greats have been at their greatest in that building, in that city, at that moment.
Yep.
Beautiful, perfect, right on time, and we both said he's going to do it quickly, and he made his first one right out of the box. And then it was about 7.5 minutes left, first quarter, boom, and the place goes crazy. And I believe those fans appreciated it almost as much as Golden State fans at home would have appreciated it.
That's where they came.
They don't have much to root for, and they haven't for many years in New York. They come to root for the greats on other teams.
Right.
Sad but true.
I saw Steph Curry break the record. I saw Michael Jordan double nickel.
Correct.
I saw Kobe 60 deaths. LeBron's almost 50-point triple-double. That's what you go to the Garden, now, Skip. That's it.
There were a lot of celebrities on hand.
They were.
Our man Michael Strahan was there, and obviously our guy Spike was there, front and center, just soaking it all in. But here's the point. When it ended, I sat back, and I had a goosebump moment when I saw Steph and Ray hug, because I have the highest regard for that man, Ray Allen, who ripped my heart out in Game 6, 2013 in the NBA Finals, when he made the greatest clutch shot from the corner 3, that tied the game and sent it to overtime and kept my Spurs from winning that championship.
Right.
But the point was, I sat back and I said, that felt huge to me. That was monumentally historical.
Right.
So I tried to put it in perspective in my head, and I said, you know what? That was the second greatest moment, individual achievement moment I've experienced in my lifetime.
Really?
Since that day, I was sitting in my dorm room at Vanderbilt University in 1974. It was April the 8th, during finals, and I got my little black and white on. It was about that big, because that's all I could afford. And I'm watching Hank Aaron break Babe Ruth's home run record of 714 hallowed home runs. Hank did that with 715 in Atlanta. My friend Tom House, the relief pitcher, caught it in the bullpen for the Braves, became the greatest throwing doctor in the history of teachers, starting with Tom Brady. And that was monumental, because there was obviously a racial component there, that a black man had finally broken the most hallowed white home run record, Babe Ruth's, right?
Yes.
This felt second only to that in my lifetime. And I kept asking myself, why? What just happened?
Right.
Because there was such buildup to it. The world stopped, the sports world stopped to congratulate Stephen Curry for this record. And it hit me that it's because it revolutionized, number one, but it's also because of who shot the shot.
Right.
Steph is beloved. I believe he's beloved now even beyond LeBron. Right. Because LeBron's sort of Brady-esque now in that he's got his lovers and his haters. Right. But I don't think Steph has any haters.
No.
I could be wrong.
Right.
But I still have some issues with him in the postseason, but we'll talk about those later. But as far as being a great guy and representing the sport with the baby-faced assassin that he can be, there's nothing not to like about him or love about him. And there's something about who does it that makes it, right?
Yes.
Hank Aaron was beloved. He never said much, but again, I grew up loving Hank Aaron. I don't know. Well, you're from Georgia, so I assume you did.
I wasn't the biggest brand. I mean, that's I was so young when it happened. I mean, as I grew up and started to learn more about him and see him around, you have a greater appreciation of like, that's Hank Aaron. He did that. To actually see somebody that's done something of that magnitude.
record chase I ever covered, and I was in it day to day to day, was Sosa versus McGuire, the great home run chase or race of 1998, the summer of love. Mm-hmm. And it was back and forth, and I was there every day on the road with Sammy because I was at the Chicago Tribune, mm-hmm. and it was spectacular because it's much harder to hit a home run than it is to make one three-point shot, obviously.
Exactly.
Now, again, you could argue making 11 in a game, 12 in a game, whatever in a game, that could be harder than hitting 2 or 3 home runs. Right. But the point was, on cue, Sosa and McGuire were just hitting home runs down the stretch, and it went back and forth until Sammy finally Mark pulled away and hit 70 to 66 for Sammy. Right. But the point was, we did not know about their steroid involvement at that point. Right. They were both beloved figures. Right. Sammy, who I covered for the Chicago Tribune in '98, behind the scenes wasn't all that lovable, but the public thought he was like a fairy tale figure.
He put that smile on his face.
He did. It was an electric megawatt smile. And McGuire didn't say much, but I think he was highly respected, but nobody knew about the steroids. Am I right? Right. Okay. So we didn't know. We couldn't diffuse that until later because it was working at that point.
But it was already over. That already happened. So
and it happened.
You can't put the genie back in the bottle.
It almost put baseball back on the map.
It did.
And then I had the privilege of covering Barry Bonds, and when he finally hit 73 home runs that year, but it was October 5th of 2001. I was there, Channel Park. He hit number 71 to eclipse McGuire in what was called Pac Bell at that point in San Francisco. But he hit 2 in that game. But was Barry beloved? No. And was he seen as nothing but steroid fueled? Yes, that's
he was never beloved, even in Pittsburgh.
Even in Pittsburgh, he wasn't beloved when he was smaller. Right.
Little Barry.
Little Barry, if he was ever little. But he was a behemoth at this point, and he was thoroughly unlovable. So nobody remembers that date, October 5th of 2001. Nobody cares about that. And when he eventually then passed Hank Aaron, it just came and went. Nobody really cared. Well, similarly, does anybody remember February 16th of 2011? Do you know what happened that night? Ray Allen happened. Yeah. Ray passed Reggie. Do you remember it?
No.
I was on First Take. I can't even, this morning I was trying to remember, did we even do it in the show? I think we did, but I don't have any memory of it. Do you remember, were you watching it? Do you remember where you were on the night that Ray passed Reggie? Nobody does. Well, why was that?
When Reggie passed, I don't even know who Reggie passed.
I don't know.
But that's the thing, Skip. I think now with social media and everything, it's like everything is everything. So we're going to remember this because all you saw last night is that on my social media feed, be it Twitter, be it IG, or whatever the case was, Steph breaks Ray Allen's record. Steph. And so now any record in any sport is going to be more meaningful now because there's so many more eyes that's captive on it. Like you said, I don't remember 2011, anything that happened in basketball that year.
It came and it went.
Yeah.
It is completely forgettable, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what changed last night? The guy who shot it changed, I think. Right. And he has shot it at such a high frequency and made such a high percentage, to your point. He's revolutionizing, we're going to get deeper into this a little later in the show, where everybody's shooting threes and there aren't any other Steph Currys. There's a Clay out there, right? Right. But really, it's just those two, and then everybody else is jacking them up at a record rate because we're now into the 10th straight year in the NBA, to your original point, in which the league is going to break its record for attempts.
Skip, 40% of the shots are from 3. Just imagine if somebody says, you know what, on the passing game, 40% of the team's passes are 20 to 25 yards or further down the field. Okay. You'd be like, huh? That many? You're like, you out your mind.
All right. Okay, I'll throw another one at you. Here's the date, October 27th of 2002. I can't even remember this, but would you believe that was the day that Emmitt Smith passed Walter Payton for the all-time rushing leader? Wow. He surpassed 16,726 yards that day. Right. In a loss at home to Seattle for a Cowboy team that went 5-11. Right. Do you remember?
I don't.
Nope, you don't. And he continued to pile up yards. He got all the way up. Emmett did as he went to the Cardinals.
18,355, right?
18,355. Okay, does anybody know that number? No, nobody knows that number. Tom Brady, every other Sunday, sets another record. He holds the all-time record for completions, attempts, yards, and touchdowns. Does anybody remember any of those days or moments? No.
Skip, let me tell you what it is about Steph. Rarely would a guy that we consider the best at something have the record. Even though Emmett has the most rushing yards, nobody considers him the best running back of all time.
True. That's a good point.
They generally say Jim Brown, Walter Payton, Barry Sanders.
I think our man Eric Dickerson.
Okay, or let's just say, for the sake of argument, baseball.
Yeah.
For the longest, so now we got a guy that we generally regard as the greatest shooter, who has the most three-pointers.
Right.
It's kind of like, just imagine, if we consider Tom to be the greatest quarterback, but he only had the third or fourth most passing yards of all time. You're like, well, hold on. Well, if he was so good, why didn't he have more passing yards, especially in this era, Skip? So for Steph to have the record and to have the volume in which he shoots it, the efficiency in which he shoots it, I think it's only right. I think it goes more to the fact that, we're at peace with it.
All right, I got it. Now let me throw this at you. Does Steph, will he ever threaten the single game scoring record in the NBA?
No.
Okay, that happens to be 100 by the out of this world Wilt Chamberlain, who put up numbers none of us can even fathom.
Yeah, his records are never going to be touched.
Okay, 7 feet 1 inches tall.
Right.
Wilt Chamberlain, the Big Dipper as they called him. He was so much better than anybody else.
Yes.
And by the way, there were a whole lot of white guys playing against him, but he was so much better. He could just finger roll in shot after shot. So in Hershey, Pennsylvania, of all places, playing like it wasn't an exhibition game. I mean, it counted, but they were just barnstorming. Yeah. So Hershey, Pennsylvania, home of the chocolate company, right? Yep. He scores 100 points on the night of March 2nd, 1962. And it's pretty hallowed because nobody's going to... What's second on that list?
81.
It's Kobe. 81. Kobe scored 81 points on January 22nd, 2006. Now, I remember that day and night. And we definitely talked about that on Cold Pizza the next day because that was phenomenal. But think about that. Kobe was... Wait a second, he was 19 points short of 100, but that's hallowed because 81, that's actually realistic, right?
And the thing is, Skip, because that happened in the 2000s, very few people actually saw the game, or witnessed the game, or heard the game, but Kobe's game was on television. So there are a lot of people, if you weren't in Staples, you did get an opportunity to witness via television. There were no TV cameras in Hershey, Pennsylvania, and I'm not so sure if Wilt doesn't hold up 100, you would have knew what actually happened.
Right. So I try to think of other individual achievements. This, for me, would resonate. If Tiger Woods ever got healthy enough, which is now close to impossible, close to
highly unlikely.
He's one guy I don't bet against like Tom Brady, but he's got 15 majors. Jack Nicklaus wound up with 18. Yeah. If Tiger could ever win his 19th major, it just seems impossible now. And a lot of it's on Tiger. It was his own doing.
It's Skip, kind of like in football. Go back to your thing, to football, Skip. We look at Jerry. We say Jerry's the best receiver of all time. He got all the numbers. He got the most touchdowns. He has the most yards, the most 100-yard games, yada, yada, yada. Okay. So it's only fitting that. But Skip, I think what resonates with people, he's average. Steph Curry is 6'3". Normally the behemoths. LeBron is 6'9". Wilt was 7'1". Kobe was 6'6". Shaq, Skip, you can't say he's average, but I'm saying he's like a normal guy. He's 6'3", 180, if that.
He looks like he's beefed up a little bit. He might be 190.
So he's a guy, Skip, like
6'3".
Okay.
And he looks smaller than that on the court. He looks like a little guy.
Yeah, with all the other guys 6'8", 6'9". So he looks small.
I agree. So here's the evolution as I saw it, as I covered both college and pro basketball. Back in the early 80s, going back into the 70s, what was the shot in basketball? It was the slam dunk.
The dunk.
What brought people out of their seats? And it still can if you facial somebody, if you posterize somebody. But it was the slam dunk, and it climaxed with a national semifinal that I covered in Albuquerque, New Mexico, in what's called the Pit. And it was Phi Slamma Jamma.
1983.
Against 80. Was it 82 or 3?
It was 3 against...
83. You're right. It was the next year because it was Valvano's year. Okay.
83 was Valvano. The next year was Phi Slamma Jamma. They lost to Georgetown.
Okay, but I'm going back
to... the Pit was in 83 in Albuquerque.
Okay, and it was against the Doctors of Dunk from Louisville, led by Darryl Griffith.
Dr. Duncan style.
It was. He was Duncan style.
I remember,
Okay, so they're just slamming it up and down the floor, And that was the shot. And soon after that, college basketball they were the first. Krzyzewski was the first to say, wait a second. If you're going to let us get 3 off this shot against 2 off that slam dunk, I'm going to keep shooting 3.
Right.
And they were the ones who revolutionized. And then Popovich in pro basketball was the first to say, well, I don't like it, but we're going to jack up threes more than anybody. And the Spurs were the first to break through early on, and that led to Steph and Clay.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. So now we've gone all the way from dunks. Well, let me ask you this. Who holds the slam dunk record in the NBA? Who has dunked the most in the history of the NBA? Well, you don't know because nobody even kept the stat.
I would probably say Shaq. But
you would think so, but who knows? Could it be Dwight? Yeah. I don't know. It could be.
Yeah.
It's somebody, it's a big man who played the longest,
right,
who had the most attempts at it because there's no awe, there's no mystique in it because you're 7 feet tall. You can almost stand flat-footed and dunk it, right?
Right.
Okay, so in the end, to your point, it revolutionized, but I still say it's because Steph is so beloved that's why that moment, it's like we gave him back the love he made for us is the love you give back, right?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
But let me ask you a question, Skip. Where are we headed? Because 30 years ago, they were taking 14 threes a game between the two teams.
We're just going up.
Today is 71. So in another 5 years, would it be 100?
We've broken the record every year for 10 years.
Yeah, so are we eventually, where teams are going to be shooting between the two teams 100 threes a game? Is that where we're heading?
I believe we're headed there. We're going to talk more about whether this is good or bad for basketball. But I don't love it because now these games, when I look at a box score, the first thing I look at now is the threes. Because if one team shot 3 for 30, I say, well, they lost because you're going to live and die with the three.
Yes.
And it makes it a little less predictable because, well, do you have a hot hand or not?
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Because we just saw...
It's a make-or-miss league. If you make them, you win it. You miss, you losing.
And we just saw Steph go really cold over the last 4 games.
Yes.
So after last night, he's 19 for his last 60. He's under 30%.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, for the last 4 games because he was really struggling to break it.
But he's on pace to shatter his record of 402, 406. He's on pace to hit 440, 449, 442, something like that, Skip.
And on pace to break the record for attempts.
Yes.
Okay. There you
go.
So
he's going to push to Skip this record. I believe when it's all said and done, he's going to be over 4,000.
Well, he will.
He's going to be over 4,000.
And yet, would I consider that untouchable? No.
Not the way they jacking him up. I mean, eventually, probably 30 years from now, all the shots will be from 3.
I agree.
Change the game. And it was such a special moment at the Garden last night. I love the Spike Lee getting the perfect shot. You guys see that after?
Spike done been in a lot of photos, but it's not good.
Every single one.
No mercy.
The Cowboys have a 3-game lead in the division with 4 games left to play, and they sit a game back of the number 1 seed in the NFC. Coming into the season, fans were optimistic about a high-flying offense and hesitant about a struggling defense, but that script has really flipped over the past few weeks with the emergence of Micah Parsons and the decline of Zeke Elliott, and right now, Dak Prescott. So, Shannon, how far right now do you believe this team can go?
They'll practice an extra week longer than the teams that didn't make the playoffs. So, in other words, they'll be one and done. It looks like if everything holds serve, they're going to be the 4th seed, and Arizona or the Rams will be the 5 seed. And so that's who they'll face. And what is happening, Skip, is that teams that the unit that we thought was going to carry them has been underperforming. And the defense, if you want to say overperformed or whatever the case may be, but that's the strong suit. Dak has played poorly since that calf injury. Zeke is hurt. Tony Pollard is out. And now Tyron Smith is back injured again with an ankle injury. So he's probably going to miss Sunday. Tony Pollard probably will miss again. And Zeke is not going to you don't get healthier playing tackle football in the NFL. At least I didn't get. So maybe they got some new kind of techniques that they teach in tackle football now. I've been retired 17 years. So things have changed, Skip.
Has it been 17?
It's been 17. I've been retired 17 years.
I lost touch with that.
And so for me, Skip, I don't believe it. The offense is a problem now. You know that. I'm glad you admitted that yesterday. You said it, that Dak was a problem. Your offense was a problem. You finally come around that Zeke is not going to ever be that same Zeke again. And y'all in trouble because I just want you to get to the Rams. You know what? The Cardinals going to give you a taste of what it's going to be like in a couple of weeks. When y'all play the Cardinals again? 2 weeks, right? 2 weeks. So y'all got the Giants.
From Sunday.
A week?
No, it's Washington first.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. So in about 3 weeks.
Yep.
That's what I want to see right there. Just going to give y'all a little sample of what's going to happen to you in the first round of the playoffs.
Did you love the way Arizona played on Monday night at home?
No, they bad at home, but they road warriors 7-0 on the road. They don't turn it over on the road. They do that for some reason. I don't know how you take better care of the football on the road than you do at home. But was Kyler Murray not special at point in time that game last night?
Occasionally, and he was bad occasionally.
Don't do that, Skip. Don't do that.
And I think the bad outweighed the good last night.
So you turning on Kyler, your guy from Oklahoma, the guy that you vouched for. He gonna win the Heisman. He gonna be the first overall pick. Yada yada yada. Now you turn your back on him.
He played on Monday night, and I told you, and you have leaped aboard the back of the Kyler bandwagon since you were highly skeptical of him, and now you're trying to shame me for seeing him way before you saw him.
No, Skip. I thought he could be good, but what did I always turn was my concern?
He's too little.
And you see, what was he doing after the limping? Every time somebody falls on him or touches him, Skip, he limps. He's small for NFL standards. He's perfectly normal for an average human being, but you know average human beings don't play tackle football, Skip.
Okay, I would rather talk about the team of the moment, the Dallas Cowboys.
Y'all the fourth seed.
I will preface my remarks by telling you I cannot defend Denver 30, Dallas nothing early in the fourth quarter at Jerry World. I cannot defend it because I really can't even explain it. I can try, and I usually fail to explain it. I think we just thought we were better than we were at that point in time, and we thought we could just roll our helmets out on the field with those stars on the side, and the Denver Broncos would just fold up and roll over and play dead, and they did not.
That's one.
You got me.
That's one indefensible.
I cannot defend or even really explain what happened on Thanksgiving evening at Jerry World. The Raiders beat the Cowboys in overtime, and I have not recovered from that yet. So I'll give you those two X factor games.
No. You missed a game in between, sandwiched in between there. Can you explain the 19-9 Kansas City?
We held Patrick Mahomes at home, your homeboy at home, to 19 points. Are you kidding me?
You scored 9.
I loved it. It's a moral victory, just like what we did on opening Thursday night at Tampa Bay. We nearly won the game over the GOAT. It took the GOAT goating at his greatest to overcome us. So I got 2 moral victories on the road. And you want to talk about road warriors? We are road warriors. We won without our quarterback at Minnesota and held Kirk Cousins with that explosive offense with all of his healthy receivers that night. We held him to 1 of 13 on third down. You love that? Yes, I do.
But I was promised a hallmark. I was promised a hallmark.
Well, you said it, Jerry said it could be a hallmark if we go win.
I was promised
and my offense that you just ridiculed, it had the ball 12 times and scored 3 field goals in that game because my quarterback was not very good in that game. He missed the first throw of the game to Michael Gallup right up the rail. Wide open, you got to hit him. You change the whole flow and tempo of the game. If you just hit him, all of a sudden you got Kansas City on his heels and you shut up that crowd. But no, he missed him by 10 yards.
Well, I'm going to do you like you do me. Well, defend that. Defend the 9 points that your guy got.
Okay, I cannot. But here's what I do know about Dakota Rain Prescott. You know this, and I know this. I love my defense. I occasionally love my offense. I thought going into the year I was going to love it all year long because we got 3 really high-level receivers.
You do.
And we don't have much of a running game right now, but you better hope and pray that Tony Pollard doesn't get back healthy. I don't know if he will. If it's torn, I don't know if he can even play anymore.
Right.
I have no idea. But if he gets healthy, you're in big trouble. If Ty Smith gets healthy, you're in bigger trouble. If Zach Martin stays healthy, you're in even bigger trouble because I got firepower on offense that's just wildly inconsistent. But at any given moment, it can explode all over you because I'm going to remind you, my offense is still second in yards gained in the National Football League and second in points scored in the National Football League. So something is good in there and has been intermittently great.
Well, but here's the thing. What is your defense? You see, the offense gets those points, but those scooping scores are provided by your defense, not your offense. That pick 6 that he got against New England, that was for the defense scored it, but you got the points. So you keep telling me about Ty Smith, but we've seen a 4-year trajectory. Ty Smith has been able to start and stay healthy throughout the entirety of the season. We've seen that.
What if this is the year he stays healthy down the stretch? Skip, down the stretch. Well, let's get it over with. Let's get it out of the way. Get your ankle out of the way and get healthy. We're 3 games up with 4 to play. We can afford to rest some people. We can mix and match in the offensive line and right on schedule. If everybody is right going into the playoffs, you better look out.
What?
Because what do I know about my quarterback? If you put him in a clutch situation, he will come up clutch. He was clutch against Brady on opening night at Tampa. He was really clutch in game 2 against Justin Herbert, that game-winning field goal drive at Chargers. Remember that?
Yes.
He can be really clutch when you need him the most. He's got to put himself in position to be clutch.
No.
But
the defense has to do that.
Well, again, if he gets there, I got it. Like, that's what he does best is, if it's a close game, I trust him to make plays to get me home.
Well, hold on, Skip. You can't say that. Didn't you have it? You had the ball first in OT against the Raiders.
We did.
And what did you do? Was that a clutch situation?
I told you there's 2 games I can't explain, but that's probably number 1 on my list. I told you it took 5 years off my life. I still haven't recovered. I have nightmares about that game. We should have won that game going away. We're just a better football team, but you have to play better, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what do I have that I didn't see coming? I got 11 from heaven. I've got the next Lawrence Taylor. I know everybody's making the comparison. Even Saquon, they're going to play the Giants, and Saquon went to Penn State, so he's close with Micah Parsons. But he's saying he sure reminds me a lot of LT.
Saquon was born 4 years after LT retired.
Okay. He's seen the highlights. He knows what he's talking about.
No,
Micah has studied the highlights. You know what? I don't have any problem with these early comparisons.
I do.
Rookie year comparisons. Well, go ahead. You're welcome to it. But I know all about Lawrence Taylor. I know I covered more. I attended more Lawrence Taylor games than you did.
Yeah,
did you play against him?
I did.
Okay.
He tore his Achilles the week before we were supposed to play him.
Wow.
In '92.
Okay. Well, you dodged that one.
He was Lawrence then. He wasn't LT then,
Okay.
so he had slowed considerably.
Okay,
Can I ask you one question, Skip, before you continue on? Of the teams, Packers, Bucks, Rams, Cardinals, where do you put your team in that mix?
Potentially, number 1. Firepower. Who has the best pass rush of those teams? Best pass rush right now. Help me. Help me out. I got Micah Parsons, a godsend. I got
Randy Gregory.
I got DeMarcus Lawrence back,
Yeah.
and he's looking like Pro Bowl quality.
Yes.
And Randy Gregory was on a Pro Bowl arc before he hurt his calf.
Right.
But he looked like a Pro Bowler on Sunday at Washington. Help me out. Best pass rush. Neville Gallimore's back in the middle, disrupting.
So,
I think I got the best pass rush.
Of the offenses, who has the better offense? Packers, Bucks, Rams, Cardinals, Cowboys.
You got me there.
Okay.
So
who do you? So in those
they used to say defense wins championships, right? My defense is on fire. It is number 1 in the National Football League against third down conversions.
Yes,
number
you are.
1.
Yeah.
It stops the opposition on third down better than anybody does. That's pretty great.
Win with that.
We are second in takeaways. That's astounding to me because Bob Sturman, The Athletic, had a great stat over the last 20 years. If you go from 2001 through 2020, Dallas was a minus 54 in turnover ratio over those 20 years.
Yeah.
Well, that's all you need to know about what happened over the last 20 years because that ranked 26th in the National Football League. Okay? Right now, our plus minus, our turnover ratio is 5th.
Right.
Well, that means that's top 5. That means because at the end of the year, every year, you can just look at that stat. That's the one that will tell the tale every year. Just look at it. Are you plus or minus on your takeaways and turnovers, right? Right now, we are the 5th best team.
But your team gives it away, too. We ain't talked about how Dak been giving it away lately.
He has. But again, do I trust him at least not to give it away?
You better not. Why would you do such a thing?
Well, he's been around. He's been here and done that. He's won a playoff game before.
Turned it over against Green Bay and turned it over against the Rams.
Okay, well, I got it. But, yeah, he did, but not terrible. Well, in his first playoff game against Green Bay, he threw for 305 yards and brought them all the way back from, what were they, down 21-3?
He should have, because
and he brought them back to 31 all? That's clutch.
Why am I going to give you credit for digging me out the hole when you put me in the hole?
A rookie quarterback playing his first playoff game against Aaron Bleepin Rodgers. You're able to do that?
That's not what you said. That's not what you said when they went up in October and beat my team. You just banging the table. I said, Skip, stop banging on the table. You was banging the table how they ran Green Bay off the field in Lambeau Field.
They did. 2 rookies ran them off the field.
You see it? Look at you.
Well, it was 31 all. It took 2 intergalactic field goals, hand of God field goals. One that should have been sliced to the right, the other one hooked left, and they both somehow magically came back across the crossbar, which is why I call him Mason Crossbar. It took those two to beat me in a rookie playoff game.
You get the Rams or the Cardinals, you're going home. I believe that is what's going to happen. They'll be one of those teams are going to be the 5 seed. You're going to be the 4 seed. You're going home early, partner. You are going home.
When I have Micah Parsons, I got a shot. Because my team will trot onto the field for warm-ups and look around and say, we got Micah and they don't have Micah.
And
that's what a difference
they're going to look around and say, you know what? They got Aaron Rodgers and you don't. They got Tom Brady and we don't. They got Kyler Murray and we don't. They got Matthew Stafford and we don't.
Okay, I agree with you about the home game. The home game scares me. Maybe we could convince the Cardinals. Maybe we could you can have it at home.
They don't want to be at home.
Let's play at home.
They don't want to be.
We're supposed to play at Jerry World, but we'll play you in Phoenix.
No.
Let's do that.
And guess what? And plus, they'll be already getting an opportunity to beat the brakes off you because they're going to probably beat you by 10 at home. I'm already put that out there on record.
Okay, well, in the regular season?
In the regular season, yeah.
I don't even care about that. That doesn't matter.
Oh, you don't see that. Look at you. You already got the division sold up. Now look at you. You got your chance. How do you care about that?
Maybe we can sandbag them a little bit. We'll just shoot. We'll kind of slow play a little bit. We'll play some backups.
I knew this. We'll
get them overconfident.
I knew this day was coming. I knew as soon if you guys beat Washington football team, how you gonna come out here and glow and start preening like you're a peacock at the carnival. I knew this day was gonna happen. And right on cue. Here you go preening again. But your day gonna come. Your day coming, Skip. I promise you, your day is gonna come.
You know what? I got a feeling your days are gonna come. Because it's not gonna be just one day. Because I think we're gonna win a couple of games.
I don't think so.
And I wouldn't be shocked if we won 3 games.
You know what?
In the postseason.
I would be shocked beyond shocked.
3 games in the postseason.
It would be if you guys won 3. If you guys won 3 games in the playoffs, Skip, I'm gonna be shocked. No, y'all playing opening weekend, so it's not like y'all getting to bye. So y'all gonna play. You have to play. That'll be wild card, divisional, championship. So 3 games don't win you the Super Bowl. So
not winning. I'm talking about getting.
Y'all ain't getting nowhere.
2.
You're not going to SoFi. As a matter of fact, they canceled all the flights. From Dallas to L.A. that week because they already knew what nothing going on.
Well, they probably have anyway over COVID. I think
y'all
shut it down.
You need to get that thought out your head. Because, see, I don't like you to get upset. Because when you get upset, I get upset. When you hurt, I hurt. So I don't want you to get your hopes up because I know what's going to happen.
When I hurt, you gloat.
A little bit.
I got a feeling about this team, and we're going to talk about it later, but even CeeDee Lamb is just readily acknowledging publicly to Snoop Dogg, Jamie Foxx, he just readily says, yeah, we'll be at SoFi. Yeah,
you will.
I'm not good with that.
Yeah, Skip. I mean, you can buy tickets. Yeah. I don't know if they're going to be able to get 60 tickets, but I mean, yeah, he'll be there because, he's a Cowboys player. He's having a really good year. Advertising and he'll be endorsing products. So he'll be out here, doing media row.
He'll be there on media night.
No, he won't be there. I guarantee the Cowboys will not be.
Monday night.
He will not be there.
Everybody want to hear what CeeDee has to say.
He will not be there.
You guaranteed you'd be here. How does it feel to be here?
No chance.
Yes, indeed, says CeeDee.
No chance that happens. 0.
I like the body language of this team. I like the potential of this team taking off, and I think it's about to happen right before your very closed eyes.
And guess what? Wild card weekend, when you come in here on that Monday, I'm going to love your body language. I can't believe my stinking Cowboys did it to me again. That Dak Prescott played like a $7.50 guy. That's what's coming. That's what's coming out right on cue. So I'm going to love your body language come Monday.
Go ahead and prematurely gloat because this is all you got. It's all you got.
Talk about, you just been gloating the whole while. Talking about, we might win 3 games. What would that get us? If we won 3 games, what would that get us? You just was over there gloating the whole while.
Road warriors. We're the ultimate road warriors.
Hold up. Y'all not no road warriors. Y'all scored 9 points.
We're actually undefeated on the road because we got 2 moral victories.
No. There ain't no more victories. There are no more victories in pro sports, man.
Yeah. Well, I take 2 for my team because my team's had a long drought.
You're going to have an even longer drought as far as playoff futility.
Really?
The confidence from Micah is doing something, right? He believes it. Maybe he can get everyone else on board, right? Skip's a believer at this point. Shannon, we actually have to talk about your team and where we're at.
Yeah.
Talking about the Lakers here. Because 15-13, it probably isn't where we anticipated the Lakers to be at this point in the season, and the trio of LeBron, AD, and Westbrook haven't gelled as expected. And according to a new report, LA has held internal discussions on trade scenarios to move on from Russ. So, Shannon, it's a pretty big swing after just bringing him in this offseason. So, scale of 1 to 10, how big of a mistake was this by LeBron to add Russ to the mix?
Well, look, Rob Pelinka, LeBron, AD, whomever signed off on this. And I think the things that make athletes great are the same thing that makes them fallible, is that when we say something is not going to true, they're like, we're going to show you. Everybody tried to say, guys, yes, Russ is a great player, but for what you guys do and for who you are, it's not going to work. LeBron, if D Wade doesn't say, you know what, I'm willing to take a back seat. If Chris Bosh doesn't say, you know what, I'm willing to take a back seat, it doesn't work. If Chris Bosh comes and says, no, I want to be the same guy in Miami that I was in Toronto, which is a 2010 guy, and the offense runs through me. If D Wade says, you know what, hey, bro, it's Wade County, I need my same opportunity, it's not going to work. If Kevin Love goes to Cleveland and says, nope, I'm a back-to-the-basket player, I want my touches, I want my 20, 25 touches a night, it's not going to work.
Kevin, are you going to fit in or fit out?
Right.
Asked LeBron in a tweet.
K-Love says, you know what? I'm going to drop this weight. I'm going to turn myself into a stretch when I've always been a back-to-the-basket player that can shoot the three, but I'll be exclusively outside for the three. Mm-hmm. How does Russ, with what he does, LeBron has never really played with a ball-dominant guy other than Kyrie, but Kyrie can shoot the three and he can shoot the mid-range. Something that Russ really is not as efficient as Kyrie is. Mm-mm. So now you got a guy that needs the ball as much as LeBron, and you still got AD who demands the ball. Russ
should demand the ball.
Russ has never played with guys like that.
Nope.
LeBron has never played with a guy like that.
Russ did in Oklahoma City, and that's why it blew apart.
But here's the thing with KD. KD didn't need the ball. You should pass the ball to KD. KD catch and shoot. KD can shoot the three.
I'm going back even to the Harden days.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But Harden is not the Harden that he is now. He's a totally different guy.
He was their sixth man.
So for me, Skip, it didn't work because you have too many parts. LeBron has thrived when he has space, when he has shooters. If you look at LeBron, when LeBron has shooters, even though they might be the second ring guys, you see how the floor opens up. Now he's downhill. Nobody's in his way. That's why LeBron likes to take that second unit, and a lot of times it's Malik Monk, the second unit, in which you see LeBron be at his absolute best.
Okay.
It's not working, Skip, and there's no sense in continuously bumping your head against the wall trying to make it work. You've seen enough. It is what it is. Okay, you tried it. It didn't work. That's okay.
What percent of the blame does LeBron deserve for wanting and pushing for Russell Westbrook?
Because I believe there's nothing that comes in to that team without LeBron's blessing.
Not like this move.
Right. Yeah. So, he deserves, and I've said it.
90%?
He's going to have to own it. Yes, he's 95%. If you want to, hell, you want to give him 100%. Wow. Because I don't believe if LeBron says, nah, bro, I think they had the Buddy Hield deal on the table.
That's what
it's going to be hard for you to move. Skip. When they said, okay, when they went to Washington, and Washington's like, really? We've been trying to get off this $91 million. And y'all going to take it off our hands? I don't know, but Skip, okay, we've had internal discussions. I don't know if another team has had internal discussions about bringing Russ on. That's the thing. I can discuss something with myself, but what if I need something, I got to go talk to another person to try and get it done. So who wants Russ? That's a championship caliber team. Philly shot that down and said, oh, yeah, we like Ben Simmons. Not for Russell Westbrook, you won't. Give us Anthony Davis and we'll talk. Give us LeBron and we'll talk. We're not for no Russ. And but that's the thing, Skip. I didn't like the move from the jump. I said I didn't like the move from the jump, and now here we are.
So I want to be completely clear for our viewers who might have been half listening. Shannon Sharpe, the fifth horseman in LeBron's inner circle, just publicly condemned LeBron, saying give him 100% of the blame for pushing to sign or bring in
Well, you know
Russell
what?
Westbrook.
Hold on. It's three. It's Rob Pelinka, AD, and LeBron. So everybody get 33 and a third.
Oh, we just dropped it all the way from 100 to 33
Because
and a third.
what were the reports? AD and LeBron met with Russ. Rob had already had the deals. Kyle Kuzma said it. I was going to Sacramento. The Buddy Hield deal was a done deal.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, no, you're going to Washington for Russell. So LeBron wanted this, AD wanted this, and then, you know what? I'm going to give AD and LeBron most because I think they coerced Rob Pelinka into this deal.
I'm going 100% LeBron because you know and I know the buck stops there with number 6.
AD got some say too, though.
Okay, but not like this man has. And I have no problem. He should have 100% say and 100% blame over this. You know and I know if he had said no, it's not going to happen.
No. Yeah, Buddy Hield would have been there.
That is correct.
He would have been there.
So we both first guessed this. I said this is a disaster.
Yeah.
And yet I always say and compliment LeBron and honor him by saying he's got the highest basketball IQ in the NBA.
Right.
To this moment, he's still got the highest IQ and he's still the best passer in basketball. So what was he thinking? Because Jordan has proven to be a terrible general manager,
right.
a judge of talent. That's not his forte, and it never was his forte when he was a player for the Bulls.
Right.
Because I did give Jerry Krause some credit for saying no to Michael Jordan occasionally. Veto. No.
That might have been the hardest thing. That's the hardest part of his job.
He wanted a lot of Carolina. He wanted Al Wood, as I called him, Al Balsa Wood. And it was a bad idea because that would not have been the right fit for those Bulls.
Right.
So to Jerry Krause's credit, I give him a little bit of, okay, you said no. But nobody can say no to that guy in this franchise because he does run it because he earned the right to run it. Mm-hmm. Michael just sat back and basically he just played basketball.
Right.
He didn't want to run the franchise. He didn't want the responsibility.
Right.
He wanted no other public responsibility. He didn't want to be a social justice warrior. He didn't want to take any stands. He wanted to hoop.
That's
and
it.
He was going to hoop like nobody could hoop, but the rest of it could just go where it went.
Right.
Okay, so here we go. And I said, this is going to be a disaster. And now I sit back and say, well, I'm sure he hasn't given up on it yet because we still got a long ways to go.
Right.
But we see the handwriting and the report that they're having internal discussions about how can we get out from under this? Should we? And I've been saying that for a month on this show.
Right.
They should try to get out from under it. I just think it's virtually impossible.
With who?
I don't know.
Skip, when it first came to approach, they like John Wall. I said, well, the only logical to get John Wall, you got to find somebody with a comparable contract. The two teams that had the contract that's comparable with when Russ and they swapped him for John Wall. Yeah. Okay, now Russ got $47 million next year. Who want to take that on for what, Skip?
He's 44.2 and $47 million. Nobody's going to take that on after what you've seen or not seen from Russ so far this year.
What pieces do they want? They want LeBron. Well, LeBron's not going anywhere. They want AD. AD's not going anywhere. And they want THT, and they seem to be unwilling to move off THT. Those are the only pieces that you really have to trade. That somebody's like, okay, what you want? We'll take one or three. We'll take all three of those.
Yeah, and the obvious fit would be Russ for Ben Simmons. They're not going to do it. Trust me, they're not going to.
Joel Embiid said, "I'm done." Joel Embiid said, "I'm done."
No. So I told you from the start, I believe LeBron looked at this two ways, as the two-edged sword. He said, if I can pull this off with Russ, and maybe he still believes he can, but he's saying, if I pull this off, I'll show the whole NBA world I did something nobody thought I could do. If it doesn't work out, Russ is obviously a lightning rod for criticism, where I told you, the guy you called the GOAT, I say phony GOAT, but the GOAT always needs a scapegoat.
Right.
Well, Russ can be the ultimate scapegoat. If this thing goes south, you just say it's his fault, and everybody will agree, starting with you.
Can I ask you a question, Skip? And I bet you can. I bet you'll say yes to this. Have you ever been in a situation and you've heard guys talk, forget the sport, football, basketball, baseball, and you're like, man, they're really good. They really, articulate their words. They'll be really good on TV. And then you get them on TV next to you, and you're like, that was awful. That's bad TV.
I've known a bunch of ex-star athletes who can, what I call, win the meeting, the pre-show meeting, but they can't do it out here.
And that's the thing.
By the way, what you're doing is extremely difficult. No one has any idea how difficult that is.
Well, I think the thing is, when my first pre-show meeting with you, and you were like, you gonna say that? Yeah, that's exactly what. Like, well, just hold on. I didn't know that you weren't supposed to say everything that you gonna say on TV at the meeting.
I kept telling you, save it for TV.
Yeah, like, I want to say that. Okay.
And I'm thinking to myself, if he can say that on TV, bring
that's exactly where I'm going. And I think the thing is, Skip, with Russ, you look at Russ from a distance, like, man, get triple doubles. Like a Hardy plate. Man, I get that. It's gonna be easy on me. I can just chill. I can get me another 3-4 years. You're like, well, damn. I still got to do the same amount of work with Russ on the team that I'm having to do if he wasn't on the team. And we're turning the ball over first of all, we turn the ball over more, and we're more of a liability defensively because Russ is atrocious defensively. Let's just put that at the way.
Yeah.
So now they're looking at it like, damn.
And he's atrocious as a shooter because he's now 32% from three. He's actually been on a little bit of a hot streak for him.
Oh, he's really good from the corners, though.
32% from three, and he's 68% as a point guard from the free throw line. It's just not good enough. He is now tied for the lead with James Harden in NBA turnovers, total turnovers. What are we, almost 30 games in? It's just 30 of 82 games.
Right.
You can see where this is heading.
Right.
Could we just please quickly remind everybody of what happened against Orlando? This is 5-23 Orlando, and it ended up being a fairly impressive victory against a bad basketball team. Can we just see Russ's 5 turnovers just this past Sunday night? Just to remind everybody, this is in a win. Russ, what was that? Did he just dribble it off his foot? I don't know.
No, what was that?
Okay, what was the Russ? Russ, do you have a plan?
We see this all the time.
What was that? If you're in high school, you're yanked for that.
Well, we're giving that one, Skip, because, everybody have more steps on the outbound line during the course of the game. Everybody does that. So we're giving that one.
Russ?
That one.
Russ, are you there? Are you with us? He has no conscience. You watch his face after the turnovers, and there's never any, my bad.
Yeah.
He never turns to LeBron and says, I got this. No.
Skip, the man told you. The man said,
what did he tell you?
He plays hard, and if he wins, that's fine. If not, that's cool, too.
Because he said the sun's going to come up. He doesn't care. He's a stat machine. He's a solo act. All he cares about is triple doubles, and his numbers are pretty close. He's 20 points a game, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists. And I'm sure he's thinking in the back of his mind, I can heat up here a little bit. I can bump the assists and the rebounds up, and I'm going to end up averaging 20, 10, and 10 for the Los Angeles Lakers, the team I grew up loving.
Skip, all those triple doubles that he's averaged, he got bumped out in the first round for the most part. In the 4 to 5 years, he's gotten bumped out in the first round.
Yep.
So what is that? So what have that actually gotten you?
It's gotten you a slam dunk first ballot Hall of Fame.
Man.
Right?
And I want me a slam dunk ring.
Okay, I agree. I call him 0. He wears number 0 for 0 rings. He is not a ring bearer. He will not bear you rings.
But the thing is, he plays so hard. Playing hard and playing smart is 2 different things.
Okay, he plays hard on offense. I don't see him play hard on defense.
He will occasionally. If the game is close, Skip, he'll bear that. Remember the Jason Tatum? He took it personally, and Jason Tatum heated up, and then late in the ball game, he said, you know what? He dug in.
That's true. I'll give you that.
I give him that. But for the most part, Skip, guys backdooring him. He's looking all around. It's not working. And I don't know why the Lakers will continue. If they can move him, I don't know what you're going to be able to get for him, Skip. But if you can move him, I would.
Heck, if you can move him, if somebody would just take him off your hands,
Skip,
what would it matter?
Got to get something back.
Yeah, but the point is, I've told you from the start, I believe, and you can't just bench him because you'd have hell to pay Russ on the bench. But the point is, I just think you can be a little better without him on the floor. Put Rondo out there, Rondo and LeBron. Put the kid Austin Reeves. He plays every game. Austin Reeves plays the whole fourth quarter.
Yeah. You know what, Skip? I think this is when the Lakers realized it. When LeBron was out, they got Russ for moments like this. LeBron is out. AD and Russ, 2 superstars, they can carry it. And come to find out,
no. Agreed.
No.
I think that was the premise from the start. If LeBron needs a game here or there, Russ will go win that game for you. Russ and AD.
Yes.
And now AD, who's proven to be pretty fragile, now he's gone with some kind of bum knee.
Yeah, I don't think he's playing tonight.
I don't know. Well, there you go. So, you're stuck.
We're not stuck. We got that guy. He's the number 1 tow truck driver in the world. He can get you out of any situation. Yes, that's right.
Stuck in the mud?
Watch he pull the Lakers out of this ditch. Watch him do it. Won't he do it?
Well, you just said it was a disaster.
It is, but watch him do what he does. Has he been a disaster?
We'll sit back and watch.
Has he been a disaster?
Somebody's trying to win back a little bit of position.
No, ain't no position. It is. No. Everybody sees it. It ain't no win back. It is what it is.
Somebody's trying to get back in the good graces.
No mercy.
With reports of 37 positive tests on Monday alone, the NFL has been hit hard by COVID issues over the past few days, particularly the Cleveland Browns. Baker Mayfield was just added to their list this morning, joining Jarvis, Landry, Kevin Stefanski, and several others ahead of their upcoming game on Saturday afternoon. So quick turnaround. And elsewhere, Odell Beckham Jr. was placed on the Rams list yesterday as they managed to win on Monday Night Football, despite their team numbers going up and up. So, Shannon, I ask you, if you were playing today, what would your approach be to avoiding COVID protocols the best you could?
Well, my approach would be the same, Skip, for the simple fact I was a homebody anyway. I went to work, came home, go back to work.
But you're lucky that way, because most people aren't.
They're not, Skip. I just think the thing is what I would try to convey to the guys, and I think the thing what is happening, Skip, as we see an uptick in the COVID rate going up in the general population, we see an uptick going up in the NFL. Contrary to what people think, because you play a professional sport doesn't mean you're immune to this virus, because you're not. And I think that also, Skip, we saw this, and they spoke of this, that we just come out the holidays, Thanksgiving. People and family got together. They like, the last couple of years, man, I got to get out. I can't do this. I got cabin fever. I need to go. And I think some people kind of let the guards down also, Skip, because they're vaccinated. You know, you think, well, I'm vaccinated, I'm immune, I can just go. No. I would tell the guys, look, guys, I know you want to go out and have a good time, but just because you're vaccinated, you can't go to a crowded club or a crowded establishment and be safe. I said, look, we're trying to accomplish something here. And the more guys that we can have, the more we can meet together, we can practice together, the greater our chances to have success on Sunday. And ultimately, the better chance we can have success for our season. So you just try to convey that message, knowing that some of that message is going to fall on deaf ears. Guys are going to do what they want to do, even though coach says, hey, guys, we got a big game this week. Let's go, get your rest, get off your feet. Guys are out doing what they're going to do. But, Skip, you just try to convey a message that hopefully that resonates, and you have enough guys that say, you know what, this is important to me, and party. There will be a chance. Guess what? Some of the best partying I had was after we won the Super Bowl, because I get to go around after I win that ring. I'm king. You can't tell me nothing. And like P didn't say, can't stop, won't stop. Yeah. I couldn't stop, wouldn't stop partying after I got the ultimate prize, Skip. But I think the thing is, Skip, we got guys that got vaccinated and let the guards down for temporarily, and then we coming out of the holidays, and guess what's about to happen, Skip? About to go back into another holiday. Yep. And then we're about to come out, and then we got New Year's. And so, Skip, I think the NFL was expecting this. Yep. And they said, you know what? The next month, the next 6 weeks is probably going to be our highest rate of infection. Yep. Let's just kind of brace for this. Teams be on high alert, be prepared to do a lot of things virtually moving forward until we come out of this holiday season.
So the NFL reported its highest day of positive COVID tests was Monday. And then it felt like all hell broke loose across all sports. It feels like an epidemic.
Yeah. NHL, NBA.
Everything. Everywhere we turn, some teams in such jeopardy that they're having to postpone. And I even heard your Lakers last night as they flew to Dallas.
THT.
THT. Dwight and Malik Monk, COVID protocol. So it's just sweeping. Right. We know LeBron had the false positive last week. Right. Okay, so now as a sports fan, I hold my breath all day, hoping against hope I don't get any alerts on my phone that my Dallas Cowboys or even the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have just an outbreak, because it can happen. And when it flares, it just flares through your whole team.
Yeah, it's got to
wipe you out.
Yeah, because you're in close proximity of everybody. So somebody's got to have it. It's not going to just be one person.
That is correct. So the Cleveland Browns, I root for Baker, you don't, but they battle back. And they survive Lamar. Lamar gets hurt, obviously, but that team's been COVID-racked a couple of times. But they survive Baltimore, their arch rival, and they get all the way up to 7-6. Now they got the Raiders coming to Cleveland. Right. Well, if you win that, you get to 8-6. You might be sitting pretty good.
And the Ravens have Green Bay.
They have Green Bay. So this is a great opportunity, and kaboom! You get rocked and socked, and you've lost not only Jarvis and Teller, but now you've lost the quarterback. Yeah. Well, you might argue that's a good thing.
Yeah, Case Keenum better anyway right now,
okay,
truth be told.
But I don't think the locker room is thinking that at this moment. I could be wrong about that. But my point is, here we go. So I told you before the season started that I was talking to a very high-ranking Tampa Bay executive, the defending champs, and he predicted to me that this would be far more of a COVID season than last year was because every team last year was in a so-called bubble.
Right.
Not exactly, but they kept it like every facility became a bubble, right? You still got to go home.
Everything was sanitized and Skip, and you was tested every single day. Like you had the rules in place, Skip. You couldn't do this and this and this, and now you got the vaccine, and so guys like, well, I got the vaccine, bro.
Okay.
I can't go to the park.
Okay, and obviously if we go back a couple of years, the NBA actually did pull off a whole bubble. For how long did it go? Like
3 months.
3 months?
Yeah, 3 months.
3 months of bubble.
Yeah.
And a lot of teams hated it, but LeBron was the one guy who stood tallest and said, no, we're going to stick together.
Right.
We're going to tough it out because that's the only way to play this game this year.
Yes.
We're going to be the last men standing.
Right.
Well, all of a sudden, these NFL playoffs shape up as last team standing.
Yes.
So to all of your points, and I believe you would have been great as a player through a pandemic like this.
We're very close. We're very close teams.
Because you have to make a commitment to try to do your darndest, damnedest. Like you have to do everything in your power to avoid.
Right.
Sometimes you just can't avoid because now we got a new variant out there that's tough to avoid.
Right.
And it's supposed to be more contagious but less dangerous than the Delta one, right?
And the thing is, Skip, think about it. A lot of these guys got the vaccine 8 months ago, and they haven't got the booster.
I'm glad you brought that up because USA Today did an eye-opening story that I recommend every sports fan read because it's got all the goods on what's going on with athletes and booster shots. And the point of this piece is it's just screaming right now. Every team should just sit their whole team. I know some players don't want to hear this, but booster shots are the way out. And they quote one health expert as saying, the evidence is really clear that circulating antibodies start dropping off dramatically after 8 months, especially if you got the J&J, because it's only one shot. Okay, so the second worst shot would be the middle one was the Pfizer, but the best one was the 2 Moderna shots. Okay, so you have a better chance with the 2 Modernas. But now you could, if you just, as an athlete, you said, I'll just take the one shot because I'll get it over with. Well, your antibodies might have dropped as far as they're predicting 90% over the last 8 months. So if you go back 6-8 months, you're in dire straits right now.
It's almost like you didn't even get the shot.
That is correct. So they're saying that the booster, if you'll get it right now, will give you a 90% chance of fighting off. If you get exposed, you might be able even to fight off the latest variant.
Yeah.
Okay? So here's the quote from the health expert. If you're a playoff team, talking about NFL, if you're a playoff team, you damn well better make sure everyone has that booster right now because with this frequency of testing, because they're testing like crazy now, you can't afford what happened to the Rams last night, which was obviously Monday night, to happen in the playoffs. Is that not right? He says it's inexcusable not to just get everybody a booster shot right here, right now, because that's how you could win the championship.
NFL would lose their mind if something happened to a Brady or Stafford or one of
their mind.
How do you overcome that?
You don't think they're on pins and needles on Park Avenue now?
But this is what I know about Tom. Tom has insulated himself. Tom ain't going nowhere. Tom is not going to run the risk.
Okay, do you want to win it or not?
It's as simple as that.
Do you want to go to the club or not? If you want to go to the club, God bless you.
Yeah.
But if you go down, you might infect 5 or 6 other guys on your team. It's a team unity concept of we're in this together. We got to suck it up and we got to sacrifice. And I've told you before, my wife Ernestine is like the greatest. I call her the COVID queen because she still insists every day even if I walk Hazel in a gated community. When I come back, I have to take off every stitch of clothes and it goes straight into the washing machine because she wants nothing to come into our household. Well, that's if you're a player, if you're Shannon Sharpe and you're still playing, you have to observe those rules. And they're a hassle and they're aggravating, but in the end, they're life-saving. You know, they'll keep you.
They're season-saving for sure.
For sure, and could be life-saving. Although we're getting to the point where it's not quite as much life and death as it was in the beginning. Though that I could argue that right now. There are some people who are obviously very susceptible.
Yeah, but I don't think the NFL is surprised because they saw the uptick in general population of society, and so they knew. And with the vaccine, Skip, people get comfortable. You know, you start to like, oh, I got the vaccine. I can go over here and mingle and congregate. And Even Skip, even if I'm around a crowd of people, like I went to the Rams game, hey, I called the people, they came to the house, gave me the test. Hey, 24 hours I had a test, you good to go.
Good.
Now, every time I'm around, if I'm around people, 10 or more, come swab your boy.
Okay, I got it.
And I got the booster shot last week.
And you got the booster shot.
I did.
And as much as this has been a political football for everybody, if you do wear your mask, you got a much better shot.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, Skip, the mask now, it's almost like, I grab a mask like I grab my phone, like I grab my wallet.
It does give you a better shot.
I feel like it's a part of my wardrobe now.
It better be.
It's just like I've done it for the better part of a year now. So it's just second nature. Even when I go home, I go back to Atlanta, Skip, and nobody's wearing a mask, people looking at me like, you don't have to wear that. I'm good.
Well, now in Los Angeles, California, you better do it by law.
Oh, yeah. Well, you have to.
Yep.
But you don't, Skip. You go other places, you say, well, they ain't got no mask on.
No mask.
I got mine on.
Here you go.
Yeah, mine matches my outfit today. So.
There you go.
No mercy.
Elite quarterbacks take center stage on Thursday Night Football as Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs take on Justin Herbert and the Chargers. The action starts tomorrow, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on Fox, NFL Network, and streaming on Prime Video. Well, Steph Curry officially passed Ray Allen as the NBA's all-time three-point shooter last night at Madison Square Garden, doing so in 511 fewer games than the Hall of Famer. And following the game, Steph said, quote, "The balance of volume and efficiency for me is the standard that I wanted to set. I never wanted to call myself the greatest shooter until I got this record, so I'm comfortable saying that now." Shannon, will this enhance his legacy?
Well, it seems like I've been a lot more comfortable with Steph than he has, because I've been very comfortable even before he had the record, calling him the greatest shooter of all.
But who hasn't?
Exactly. You know what? That's very humble. Steph showed great humility in saying, I didn't feel comfortable calling myself that until I got the record. Everybody else, y'all have at it. Y'all can say it again. One more time. Okay, I'm the greatest shooter. I'm good with that, Skip. That's what he's saying. Skip, for me, is bad because it's made the game very three-point specific, and everybody in the league jacking him up now.
Okay, but not for his legacy.
No. His legacy, he's Skip, he's etched in stone. He's etched in stone.
Did this enhance it?
No. Skip, for me, it done nothing for me to change the way I viewed Steph Curry before last night. It did nothing. I already knew he was the greatest shooter. He had already won those MVPs. He already in position to win another. He had already won 3 championships. Him getting, like I said, Skip, there's some people, no matter what they see. For me, I thought Barry Bonds was a great player, Skip, even before he hit 73.
So did I thought he was the greatest player
I mean, the guy had 3 MVPs, the Silver Slugger, the Golden Gloves. He was a Hall of Fame. Even if you take Barry Bonds' last 10 years away from him, he's still a Hall of Famer.
Listen, I cannot tell you. I get goosebumps over here co-signing on what you just said. And I know people despised him because he could be a bad guy. He was a steroid freak. Yeah. We got it. But before all that,
go look at his numbers in Pittsburgh and tell me what you think. Was he a Hall of Famer with the gold gloves?
Greatest player I ever saw.
So for me, Skip, think about it. We got at least 80 players taking at least 5 threes a game. Just 10 years ago, it was only 13. It's just 10 years ago, Skip. So in 2011, there were only 13 players shooting at least 5 threes a game. Now, in 10 years later, it's 80. Mm-hmm. Skip, and it's changed the game. So now you got positionless basketball. Because even if you're big, if you can't shoot the threes, I don't know how to, there are certain situations that they can't play you.
Yep.
You got Nikola Jokic shooting 4.5 a game. Joel Embiid takes 3. They would be, in the old game, they would be traditional 5s. Back to the basket, mid-range, boom. They've gone out beyond the three-point line because it's hard to keep a guy on the floor if he can't shoot threes. And that's where the game, and that's what Steph has done. So if you want to say it's enhanced his legacy, and that is that he's made it okay to shoot bad shots. Skip, I don't want to see all these guys. There are a lot of guys shooting shots that shouldn't be shooting these shots. You know that, I know that. But what analytics say, I don't care nothing about no analytics.
Yep.
Yeah, it's great. Analytics are great if you convert. Skip, they say if you go for it on 4th and 1 and you convert, there's a 70% chance you're going to win the game. Yeah, Skip, if I complete a pass on first down for 8 yards, there's an 80% chance that I'm going to get a first down within the next. Yeah, of course. I can make analytics say whatever I want them to say. But for me, Steph Curry's legacy, the three-point shot, if you want to say that's how he built his legacy, that's what his brand is based on. But Steph Curry is so much more than the three-point shot. So for me, Skip, it didn't change me. Okay. It didn't change one thing the way I viewed Steph Curry prior to last night.
Okay, I got it. I don't think you're seeing the forest for the trees. And Steph is among the trees out there because he's a little man.
He's a little tree.
He's a little one, little sapling.
Yes.
6 feet 3 inches tall. I believe that this record put him over the top into Pantheon great, into NBA immortal. I don't believe I will ever rank him in my all-time top 10 list.
What did it do for him then?
It's the mystique. It's why I told you, I sat back after last night and I said, that felt monumentally historic.
Yeah.
It's because of the guy who shot the shot that broke the record. He is beloved. He's really become the face of this league. And I still think LeBron is right there. It's like 51-49, but I think Steph is slightly past him. It's what drove KD out of Golden State because KD just couldn't compete with it. The deep love.
Yeah, he was never going to be loved like Steph.
Not like Steph because he is the baby-faced assassin. Right. So why do we watch sports? Why am I addicted? Every night, Ernstie's another game? Yeah, I'm going to watch them all. Because I wait to be awed.
Right.
I want to see something I've never seen before. Why was I most in awe of Michael Jeffrey Jordan that year, 1998 in Chicago? Because I went to every home game or watched every game on TV, obviously. I would see something every night from that guy, that original number 23, I'd never seen before, every game. But it wasn't shooting three-point shots. It was something that involved athleticism.
Yeah, but Skip,
it's
you look at it differently,
something that involved
though.
hang time, right?
But Skip, because of your journalistic background, you understand that the game is more than wins, losses, or who did what. It's about a story. And Steph Curry can tell a story. You can't tell the NBA story without the three-point shot and the evolution that Steph Curry caused.
But he awes you.
Yes.
He knocks your socks off.
Yeah, with the step backs.
This little man, and he's shooting them so far out, you say, I'm not sure. I still play basketball, and I shoot threes, but I'm shooting it from the college three-point line.
Right.
And I know how hard it is to push the ball that far.
Yeah.
He's shooting it with ease from 30 feet away.
Yeah.
It's hard to get the ball up to the basket.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that I found that's so captivating is with the ease that these guys can let a ball go from 30, 35 feet. Dame, Clay, they're letting the ball go from the logo.
Yeah.
It's like they're shooting a free throw. It's not like they're heaving. No. Guys used to shoot that shot.
You have to do this. You have to go side saddle and like shot put it to get it there.
But that's their normal shot.
He's shooting a jump shot with a flick of the wrist. He's getting the ball 30, 32, 34 feet to the basket and making them with high regularity in the mid-40s where you're shooting 45% of those shots.
Right.
And he can go, he and Clay, they're the two guys who can go like crazy hot.
Dame can heat too now. Remember that playoff game last year against
I still don't think he's quite in their league of going crazy hot where you're making like when Steph first went to Madison Square Garden and made 11 of 13.
Right.
Okay. And Clay scored 37 points in a quarter.
Yeah.
Okay. That's beyond my comprehension. I never thought I would see either one of those things. So all of a sudden, as Steph, remember, he's going to turn 34 years of age on March the 14th.
Right.
Well, he's getting up there. Like we talked last week about Allen Iverson. He was done at 34 years of age.
Right.
And he's a little man. We see that little men don't last as long as big men do.
Well, a lot of that has to do with Skip with the wear and tear. But I think Steph Curry has a lifestyle that's very conducive. Being married with 3 kids, not in the club, the way he eats, and the way he takes care of himself. Okay. I think if AI had took better care of himself off the court, he could have made it to he easily made it to 37.
But historically, the little guys don't last because it's just too hard on your body. Right. And Steph, you want to talk about output of the energy required to run through all those picks.
Yes.
And even on the record setter, he went down and set a pick on the baseline, and he's taken punishment.
Yes.
He has to. If you see, we should see the shot. I don't know if you can see the shot from the start of the record make.
Yeah.
He goes down and sets a pick and takes a little shot and then runs backwards. See, he'd already gone all the way to the baseline to set a pick, and then he goes back and shoots almost like a fall away three.
Right.
I don't even know how you get it there. So I'm in awe of that shot.
Right.
It looked a little awkward, like he's falling backward.
Right.
And he still swished it.
But even, Skip, you say that I can't see the forest from the trees, and you heap all this praise, but you still say you're unwilling to put him in your top 10.
Okay, because, and I don't want to rain on his parade today, so I'm kind of biting my tongue on this. He has come up even smaller than he is too often for my taste in the postseason, starting with those 3 games against your team, LeBron, Kyrie, 2016, Cleveland Cavaliers, at Golden State for 2 of those 3 games with a 3-1 lead, 5, 6, and 7. I don't even want to beat the dead horse of these statistics, but they're horrendous. He went as cold as you've ever seen him go in all 3 of these games, 2 of them at home. 2019, he had all kinds of chances. He had a game-winning shot that he missed to get it to Game 7 in Toronto, 2019. Okay, so my point is, without going through all the depth of these stats, the point of it all, I think people give him a pass because it made him even more human. It made him vulnerable and even more lovable that, he's very capable of having real cold nights where in those 3 games down the stretch of that finals, let's just go to Game 7. What was he? 6 of 19 from the floor. This is Game 7. This is for all the marbles in your building. And 4 of 14 from 3. And in the fourth quarter, he goes 1 of 6 and 1 of 5 from 3. Well, he opened the door that LeBron and Kyrie were able to run through. So my point is, he needs to do much more in the postseason for my taste to be an all-timer like a top 10er.
Skip, it's going to be very, very hard for you to keep him out of the top 10 if he gets one of the following: another MVP and another championship. If he gets one of those, it's going to be very hard considering where he is with the 3-point shot and what he's done for the game. If you get 3 regular season MVPs, you get 4 titles. Skip, I don't know how you keep him out of the top 10.
Okay, how many rings does he have so far?
He has 3.
3. And he's been the MVP of how many of those finals?
Well, Skip, I mean...
He's been no MVP.
No, he's not. But I'm saying, he gets another regular season MVP. That's 3. He gets another title. Let's just say he gets one or the other. It's going to be hard for you to keep him out, Skip. And I believe that if he wins another title, he's going to have to be the MVP. There's no other way around it. So with that being said, he gets 4 rings. He's an MVP, a finals MVP. He's a 2-time, one of them unanimous. Skip, I think it's just going to be hard because he's already universal regarded. You say he's the second best point guard of all time? It's out of here and Isaiah. I think he's going to get the nod because he has 2 MVPs and 3 rings.
Is he a point guard? Do you call him a pure point guard?
No, he's not a pure. Nobody's pure. Dave's not a pure point guard. Kyrie, James Harden.
Is Steph a great passer? No, he's not a great. He's a good one.
Yes.
And I'm going to remind everybody, I was the one pushing for him to be the number 1 overall pick, and I took a lot of abuse for it coming out of Davidson.
Yeah,
because I kept saying his handle is better than you think it is.
Well, I think the thing is, Draymond initiates more of the offense than Steph.
He does.
If you look at it, Draymond brings the ball up way more than Steph. Draymond has the ball in his hand, initiating the offense way more than Steph. But that's the title they put on him as point guard, so that's what I'm going to go with. But Skip, he's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. He gets another MVP. He wins another championship. It's going to be hard to keep him out of the top 10. And he's not done.
Okay, is he going to carry this team to a championship?
Well, Skip, if they get to a championship, he's going to be the guy. He's got to be the guy. Okay,
I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, he's the guy. Everything is centered around him. Skip, you look at the game last night. Damon Lee and Poole and Wiggins are getting all those shots because they're so conscious of him. So just imagine when they get when they get Clay back on the court. You can't devote all your attention to Steph because you're going to leave Clay open, and you know Clay will bang 14 threes on you.
He will.
So now you're going to pay a little bit more attention to Clay, not Steph. But the thing is with Steph, Skip, I'm watching him over the last 5 games. It's the wide open shots that he's missing. Yeah. Guys running at him, 3 guys in his face. He's canning those.
Okay, yet he was the guy who led the contingent all the way to Long Island to try to beg and plead for Kevin Durant to please come save us after they blew a 3-1 lead to LeBron and Kyrie.
Skip, why would you not? You see, Tom Brady wanted Randy Moss. Tom Brady wanted he begged Gronk to come out of retirement. He wanted Antonio Brown.
But Tom Brady didn't go beg for Aaron Rodgers to come save him.
No, but I'm saying though.
Sorry,
Skip, he wanted.
It's different.
So what about Gronk? You say Gronk's the GOAT tight end.
Okay, but he's not the quarterback.
No, but Tom wanted pieces. Okay. Tom realized more pieces I have to play with.
They're all complementary pieces. I got that.
Yes.
But they're not Kevin bleeping Durant who's come in to save us.
But don't you think Kevin Durant needed saving too? Okay, we're both drowning, so let's save each other.
And remember, in that first finals, Golden State, Cleveland, what happened? It's Steph and Clay, and they're all there, right? Yeah. And LeBron loses Kevin Love and Kyrie and is up 2-1 with Game 4 in his house. And Iguodala happened. Yeah. That's what happened.
Skip, they were a better team. I mean, you think about it. I mean, you Timofey Mozgov, Dellavedova?
GOAT?
Come on.
You tell me GOAT.
You think LeBron, Jordan would have pulled that one off, huh?
Do I?
It always comes back to it. Okay. Regardless of the history of those matchups, a huge congrats to Steph, because what an accomplishment. And last night was about celebrating you, and we hope we're doing
Steph,
the best we can.
You're a GOAT.
Congrats.
No mercy.
LeBron is coming off his 4th Western Conference Player of the Week award since joining the Purple and Gold. And Frank Vogel has noticed a big reason how the King is getting LA back on track. The Lakers head coach applauded LeBron for, quote, finding joy through hustle and how it's really fun to pour it all out there on the floor and inspire your group. Shannon, has this been the key to LeBron's recent surge?
Well, I think the biggest thing is, Skip, he's healthier. He's getting healthier, and he's been able to get a rhythm. Remember, Skip, this is the longest stretch LeBron has played continuous games this season. You remember he played a game, and the next thing you know, he was out 10, 11 games. He comes back, gets suspended, misses a game, comes back, COVID, false positive. So now he's in a situation, Skip, he's starting to find a rhythm. He's getting healthier. I think he's getting healthier. It looks like he's playing as he's getting healthier. And when you have a guy like LeBron, Skip, it's kind of like Tom. You don't think that team get inspired when Tom runs for a first down and then he gets up, he's doing his little mannerism like, y'all say your boy get that first down. They talk about I'm slow, but I ain't that slow. I got that first, didn't I? Guys get inspired. I mean, when John did the helicopter in the Super Bowl, I understand it's a Super Bowl versus a regular season game, but to see him lay it all on the line, to see Tom Brady is giving you everything he has that particular game, to see LeBron pouring it all out there, absolutely, it's inspiring. And it gives you a sense. It gives you a sense, Skip, we have him and you don't. Tampa, we got Brady, y'all don't.
Dallas, we got Micah and you don't.
No, quarterback. Oh, now all of a sudden, this man has preached to me, quarterback should be the 25 or the top 100. Quarterback should be the 25. Now all of a sudden, this man ain't mentioned his quarterback in 3 days. All he talked about is 11 from heaven.
Because we have the antidote for the quarterback, right?
Man, I can't believe you, Skip Bayless. You dirty. You done turned your back on Dak so quick.
We have the vaccine for the quarterback. That's what we have.
LeBron has played 5 straight games. He's finding his rhythm. And Skip, I just think the thing is that he's getting comfortable now. And he feels the game out. If you see, sometimes he'll come out. He's ultra aggressive. In other games, he's like passing the first quarter and then he turns it on in the second quarter or turns it on in the third quarter. But I think Frankie V is right when they see the way LeBron approaches the game and how serious he takes it. His sleep, he always mentions sleep. Kudos to you, Savannah, because in order for a man to sleep that much when he got 3 kids, that means you holding the home front down, letting him do his thing. So for me, I think that has a lot to do with it, Skip. He's getting healthier. He's been able to play continuous games for the very first time in a very long time, and it's not getting interrupted with injuries, with a suspension, or with a false positive in COVID. Uptick.
Uptick?
Yeah.
That's kind of a slow uptick.
Ain't no telling what
several seconds.
Ain't no telling what's happening tonight. I mean, you saw what KD did last night, right? I'm just saying.
Well, he better be that guy tonight because you're probably not going to have AD, I'm guessing.
And your point
being, you don't have Malik.
Your point being what?
Luka?
Your point.
Porzingis?
What they got to do with us?
Hardaway? Ooh, I don't know.
Oh, now.
I think you're in trouble. Okay. I applaud Frankie V because his bread is buttered by playing up to, almost kissing up to LeBron James publicly because he's got to compliment, he's got to try to fuel the fire. He's finding joy in hustle. I'd never heard that phrase before, but I like it.
Yeah.
I don't buy it, but I like it.
You saw the man get on the floor the other night for that loose ball, tied up.
Occasionally he will.
Okay, then.
But even you agree that we're in year 19 and he has to pick his spots.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So don't give me he's going to pour it all out there because he can't. He's not capable of doing it at this stage and age where he's got to be smarter than that. He can't give you 40 minutes of joy of hustle because I'm not seeing it on the defensive end, and the stats scream that he's not playing defense the way he did even last year.
Did you see those block shots?
How about this? Last year, he finished the year in individual defensive win shares. He was 14th in the NBA, and you kept telling me, he's top 10, he's top 10. And I said, you got me, because they were number one in defensive efficiency a year ago.
Sure was.
This year, he ranks individually 163rd on defense because he just can't do that.
No.
He can't risk that because he's either going to get hurt or he's going to run out of gas or both. So now it's like the anonymous scout that we had a couple of days ago that he was talking about. LeBron takes possessions off, and it's high IQ possessions where he'll sort of sulk a little bit, or he'll get mad at the referee, or he'll stay down and he'll let everybody run up the court. And he'll just kind of take a little time off here and take a little breather, right? Well, you have to do that, but don't give me joy and hustle because he's not Charlie Hustle now. He's not running all over the floor. How can he?
But here's the thing, though, Skip. Tom Brady don't run for every third down. He picks and chooses his spot in which he's going to go get the first down, right?
Yeah, but you don't have to worry about running out of gas playing quarterback.
But my point is you run the risk of getting hurt. You run the risk of getting hit. Because anytime you run, now you no longer have the protection of being the quarterback in the pocket. Yeah. You're a running back. You are a runner with the football. So he picks and chooses his spot.
Okay, well, LeBron but it's easy to pick and choose because the game is rigged to protect that position. Because all you have to do, if they dare you to run 10 yards for first down and you take off running, and I put quotes around running.
Walking briskly.
Okay, walking briskly. I'll give you that. Although I thought he looked pretty good the other day. Right? Yes, he did. He did.
You saw that baby giraffe out there.
He went for, 12 yards? But then, guess what? It's rigged because all you have to do is, I give up.
Slide.
I slide. And if you slide, they can't even touch you.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Okay, so what's the no harm, no foul? Right?
So we pick and choose our spots.
Okay.
We get those 3 block shots. We catch you, you trying to get, sneak something into the party. We block it, throw it up out of there.
Okay, what I love, joy of hustle. Here's what inspires me watching your Lakers. When LeBron attacks the basket, it inspires me because he's still 6 feet 9 inches tall by 260 pounds. And when he decides, when he puts his head down and drives, he is still the greatest attacker of the basket I've ever seen because he is a force of nature.
And he does that, but he has to pick and choose his spots.
Okay, I got it. But look what's happening now. He's drifting farther and farther back because he's shooting more threes than ever. He's now a career high 7.8 three-point attempts per game. So let's call it 8. So he's shooting 8 threes a game.
What are we shooting? What's our percentage? I think we up there probably about 30.
You're 35%. It's just not good enough.
We're about to be 37.
Okay, well, fine. We'll see about that. You're also highly capable of a 2 for 13. When he falls, you always say it, fall back in love, and then you
5 of 9 tonight.
Okay, 5 of 9?
5 of 9. What part about 5 of 9 didn't you get?
I'll take 5 or more for one case right now.
Okay.
Done. Thank you very much. 5 threes at Dallas? Wow, that's a lot. That's Steph-ish, right? Okay, so here's the other problem. You are now only attempting, let's call it 12. I'll round up to 12. 12 two-point shots a game. So 8 threes versus 12 twos. Guess what? 8 threes is by far your career high, and 12 twos is by far your career low.
Yeah.
So he's drifting farther and farther away from the basket because he's older. Yep. He's about to turn, what is he,
37.
42?
About to turn 37, and they don't give us the calls. I mean, for whatever reason, nobody's really getting the calls that they normally get. We saw James Harden is struggling right now to find his shot because they're not giving us the ticky-tack fouls. They're not allowing you to jump into people.
So when you're shooting 8 threes and only 12 twos a game, it means you're not attacking the basket the way you used to as a younger man.
And you can't.
Okay, well, you could if you really wanted to.
No, you can't.
You could focus on it.
No, you can't,
You could make it your goal in this game. I'm going to attack.
Let me ask you a question. So as Jordan and Kobe started to get older, did they tack the basketball like they did in their 20s once they reached their 30s? Why didn't they? They still were great attackers of the rim, but you just can't do it, Skip.
Okay, but at 34, which was Jordan's last year in Chicago, he was still attacking like crazy.
No,
he was still that guy.
He was still, Skip, he had started playing in the high post and shooting the mid and getting to the mid-range. He wasn't getting all the way to the basket, dunking on guys like he was in his first 6-7 years in the league. Your body just can't hold it. You got to realize, you say when he was 34, you got to look at LeBron. How many years had LeBron been in the league at 34 compared to Jordan being in the league at the 34? And he had taken a year and a half off to fully rest and recover his body.
Well,
LeBron had done that.
Not intentionally.
Well, I don't know what happened. I don't know who did what. I just know he got a year and a half off.
Okay, he did. I will give you that. But my point is, Jordan at 34 was still a terror of a basket attacker when he decided to be.
And LeBron is.
Well, he should be more because that's what ignites your basketball team.
Skip, you do realize the man is in you want the man in year 19 to play like he did in year 10 when you know that's not possible.
I don't want joy of hustle. I want joy of attacking.
No, we attack. Okay. Did you not see those highlights? And one.
Yeah. I know. When he does that, when he goes flex, bicep flex,
yeah, you see
I'm like, good. Way to go.
And one.
Okay, that's the equivalent of the Elway helicopters when he goes and one. Yeah. Seriously.
But them threes, when them logo threes, you remember that one he pulled up in Indiana?
Yeah.
How we did Indy? But what'd you say when he did?
Would you believe at Indy that he missed 2 walk-off shots at Indy and then he turned around the next game and missed another walk-off?
No. I can't let you lead the Indy game. What did he do in the Indy game? You said he missed those 2 walk-offs, but then what did he do? Turn around, what did he do? Close that out, didn't he?
Yep.
Okay.
And he fell in love, and then the 2 nights later, he shot 2 for 13 from 3.
And then what did we do? Bounce back, came all the way back, and now look at him.
Yep.
NBA Player of the Week for the 65th time.
Yep.
I got a feeling 66 is right on the horizon.
Really?
Got a feeling?
It's rigged.
No, it's rigged. Now we get an award, it's rigged.
It's rigged.
Okay.
They're trying to sell the product.
Okay.
It's okay.
Oh, so now it's rigged. He get one award, now it's rigged.
It's okay.
Just for the record, I am not wearing Cowboys colors today. This is Michigan blue, right, today?
Yes.
No mercy.
Well, the Cowboys, they look like they're headed to the playoffs as they could clinch a postseason berth this weekend. And the team is pretty confident. During an interview with Snoop Dogg, CeeDee Lamb was asked if Dallas would be going to the Super Bowl this year, to which the second-year receiver replied, "Yes, indeed." Come on, you know I'm going to say that. So, Shannon, did you like him saying this, or did you have a problem with it from
Say,
CeeDee?
yes, indeed, I like it.
The only way CeeDee is going to the Super Bowl if he's sitting next to Snoop in a box. And if Snoop got extra seats, I need 2 tickets. That's the only way CeeDee Lamb or any Cowboy players will be at the Super Bowl in a suite.
Will you be at Snoop's pregame party?
There's a possibility I'll be there. And I'm looking forward to seeing all the Cowboy players because they'll be there also. They will not be in attendance at the game, Skip Bayless, and you know that. Skip, look, I mean, like CeeDee said, what do you expect him to say? He said, I don't have a problem with the confidence. It's not like he did like somebody else. Oh, we're going to win. I guarantee it. I noticed why Mike McCarthy ain't guaranteed we going to the championship game. That's what I want to see him step out there. Take a leap of faith. Jared, go ahead and say that, Jared. No, they ain't going nowhere. You know that too, Skip. First of all, they'll have to win too. What do you think the likelihood of them going on the road beating Tampa and Green Bay? Is this many percent? 0. There's nothing that's 100%. But the vaccine is not as good as the Cowboys going on the road. So that's 100% they're going to lose one of those games. So I ain't even worried about it. And that's not even in my mind. I can't even bring myself to fathom that. It's beyond my wildest imagination. Y'all being stinking Cowboys out here at SoFi. It would be sickening. You'd be nauseating. And I couldn't be able to stomach it. So it's not going to happen. So I don't got no problem with CeeDee because he said exactly what I expected him to say. But you know what's going to happen. It's going to end like it's ended for the last 25 years in disappointment. And I'm going to love it on your face.
Scale of 1 to 10, the fear factor I'm seeing in Shannon Sharpe's eyes right now is at a 9.
0.
Because he sees what's coming.
No, Skip, Skip, you know good and well. You would have already told me if it came down to Tampa and the Bucs, you pick taking Tom Brady.
Tampa and the Cowboys.
Tampa and the Cowboys. You picking Tom Brady.
But you know what? You've been driving home to me the point, and you're in the Hall of Fame and I'm not. You've been driving home the point to me That Bucks defense is just not back to where it was because it's hard to take it back up when you're trying to be defending champs.
What
right?
about your offense? Is it back where it was at the beginning of the season?
Which offense?
Your
Tampa's?
offense,
Cowboy. No. Okay, but I got you. I hear you. But what I'm saying is, I'm not worried about Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr., but I am starting to worry about the defense because it never looks like it did last year down the stretch. It has not taken off yet. Do I fear Aaron Rodgers at Lambeau? He's 1-4 in NFC championship games. I do not. I'm sorry. He's a choke artist. Even at home, he was a choke artist last year.
I know you're not talking about...
He's played miserably in every NFC championship game, including the one he won when Jay Cutler wound up on the bicycle in the second half at Soldier Field in Chicago with Caleb Haney as the quarterback that Aaron barely beat.
You won 3 playoff games in 25 years.
Okay.
And you up here gloating about what somebody else had done.
This is different, and I told you going into the year, off Hard Knocks, I told you, this team is different. Its body language is different to me because it knows it has the goods. 2014, 2016, 2018, I never trusted those teams because they didn't appear to trust themselves. You could just see from their body language, we're going to screw this up. You know, we know it's coming. We know
and you know that's going to happen with this team.
This team doesn't think that way. And I loved what CeeDee Lamb said because it just spilled right out of his heart.
What'd he say?
Yes, indeed. That's what he said, because in his heart of hearts, he thinks they got all kinds of firepower, enough on both sides of the ball to win any game at any moment. Because what have we seen from my offense? Is it struggling? You better believe it's struggling. Do I trust my quarterback right now? Not enough. But has he shown you in spurts to be a top 10 quarterback in this league? Yes, he has.
Yeah.
Has he shown you in key moments to be as clutch as just about anybody this side of Thomas Edward?
And he's also shown you he can be a bottom 10 quarterback in spurts.
Okay. Was he clutch at Tampa on opening Thursday night?
No, they lost.
Yes, he was. He did what he needed to do to win the game. And was he clutch at Chargers in game number 2 with the season teetering? Yeah, he pulled off the game-winning field goal drive, right? In spite of his game-wrecking coach on the sideline who nearly screwed it up. My point is, my offense is still second in the league in yards gained and second in the league in points scored. And you can say, well, the defense scored something. Yes, they did. But what did everybody think going into the year? What would every expert have told you? This offense is potentially the most explosive in football. Has it underachieved? Yes, it has. Well, that's the point. It's just sitting there on hair trigger to start achieving. What if it gets healthy and explodes on the National Football League? You're in trouble.
But here's the thing, Skip. Your offense right now is wet matches. You got to wait until they dry.
You don't know that.
Yes, I do. Have you not seen them over the last month?
I've seen fits and spurts of explosion.
What you saw was against the Atlanta Falcons. Okay, what did you see?
Even at New Orleans on that Thursday night, that one drive where he goes, Amari, CeeDee, Gallup, boom, boom, boom. And I sat back and said, there it is.
Yeah.
Because they haven't been together since the opening night.
Yeah, and I watched him against the Broncos go, who?
Okay, well, that was a long time ago.
Okay, Kansas City, watch him go, what, boom, boom, boom. Okay, Raiders, watch him go, boom, boom, boom. And then you watched him Sunday. Now tell me how you was feeling about him Sunday.
Okay, I was feeling my defense on Sunday, and that's all I cared about because you say, my defense has overachieved. No, it hasn't. It's just achieving because all of a sudden you look at firepower in the front four. It's the best pass rush in pro football. Show me a better one. Show me a better one than Micah and Gregory and D. Law and Neville Gallimore. Show me a better one.
Okay.
Show me more firepower up front.
If your defense hasn't overachieved, they've achieved, what has your offense done?
It's underachieved.
Okay.
And I love that because that shows me we got a shot.
Okay.
What if Ty Smith does get healthy? What if Zach Martin does stay healthy? What if Dak starts getting a little more mentally healthy in how comfortable he is with his body? Because it's been rocked and wrecked. We know that. And it takes a while to start to figure it back out. From your oblique to your calf to obviously a wrecked ankle, right?
You're basing a lot of things on some what ifs. This is what we do know. Come playoff time, the Cowboys have been very, very average.
Okay, but that's all in the past.
No, it's not.
That's history.
No.
History. History doesn't apply to this year's team.
Yeah, it does.
It has no history.
Let me ask you a question. So if history doesn't apply, why does it apply to Aaron Rodgers being 1-4 in the playoffs? What is being in the previous playoffs in the championship game have to do with this year if history doesn't apply?
Does Aaron Rodgers have a Micah Parsons? No, he does not.
He got Aaron Rodgers. He got a Devontae. Y'all don't got that.
I got 3 of them.
No, you don't. All 3 of them together ain't Devontae.
Yes,
all 3 of them together ain't Devontae.
Yes, they are.
And you know, Jair Alexander coming back. Zadarius Smith coming back.
Love
now
that.
You put him with Kenny Clark, and you put him with Rashawn Gary, and you put him with Preston Smith.
All we need to do is get to Lambeau for the NFC Championship game and get Aaron Rodgers first and goal at the 8 with 3 minutes left. That's all we need, because you know what's going to happen. He's going to do Aaron Rodgers things under pressure.
That ain't got nothing to do with it.
Things.
But wait to that law firm. That Smith, Gary, and Clark.
Yep.
Boy, but hey, when they on the case, you going in.
Better pass rush, Green Bay or Dallas right now. Better pass rush.
Y'all got the better pass rush.
Thank you.
But wait till Z Smith come back. That law firm coming. Yeah, Smith, Gary, and Clark.
Pretty good.
Yeah, you better believe it. And Jair go, you know what he do to CeeDee. And when he get cold, you know it get cold. Now, what happened last time y'all went to Lambeau Field in the cold? You remember what happened? I know you weren't there, but you remember it.
I can see Trevon Diggs' taillights right now as he pick sixes Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. I can see him running.
You don't want
him running through the night.
Can you imagine what Devontae gonna do? Can you imagine what Devontae gonna do to him?
Yeah, I can see Aaron on his backside after Mike
can't see that.
Strip sacks him.
Bakhtiari will be back. Yep. The front side gonna be taken care of. Tell Michael to stay on the other side. Don't fool with Bakhtiari. Don't bother that side. That side locked down. Well, Gregory gonna find out.
Number one on third down defense is the Dallas Cowboys.
That's okay. So what they doing on first and second down?
Stopping it over there.
Stopping.
Interesting.
No, they're not.
A lot of talking. The Cowboys, a lot of talking.
Yeah. The number one spokesman doing a lot of talking.
No mercy.
With the Nets missing 7 players, Kevin Durant put the team on his back, playing 48 minutes and dropping a 34-point triple-double in Brooklyn's 131-129 overtime win over Toronto. And afterward, KD said, quote, "We easily could have punted this game. I'm so proud to just be a part of this group and play with these young dudes." So, Skip, your guy. How impressive was KD last night?
Shannon Sharpe, I believe Kevin Durant took the MVP lead over last night with that performance, because Steve Nash said after the game he did not want Kevin to play on a bad ankle. And Kevin insisted on playing, because if he did not, they were going to have to, quote unquote, forfeit or postpone that game, because they weren't even going to have enough players to play. So Kevin Durant, as Jenny just said, played 48 minutes, often having to play with 4 rookies at a time. David Duke Jr. started and played 38 minutes. Cam Thomas is their stud first-round pick. He played 22. Kessler, Edwards, Day'Ron, Sharpe. These are the rookies that Kevin was playing with, and he goes 34, 13, and 11. He was not good in the fourth quarter because he was 0 for 5, but when it got to overtime...
Don't gloss that over now.
Well, I'm just saying, he wasn't very good, but in overtime, you want to talk about assassin, 7-foot monster of an assassin. Could we quickly see those 3 shots that he made in a row? It went boom, boom, boom. The first one cut it to 2, cut the Toronto lead to 2. That was a little lucky. But then the next one wasn't so lucky, because this one tied the game. Mid-range, he is as lethal as any man in the history of this game, and that one gave them the lead in overtime, because it is unstoppable, and he is as clutch as anybody playing the game of basketball right now. And I sat back and said, that's what you call an MVP.
It was very impressive. I'm not surprised, Skip, that the scoring aspect. What was most surprising is that we don't normally see this KD, that one that initiates the offense with the 11 assists, the one that has to dominate the backboard with the 13 rebounds. We know Kevin Durant is one of the most efficient scorers of the basketball in NBA history. You'd be hard-pressed to find someone that can shoot the ball from the 3 and from the mid-range, get to the rim with a greater efficiency than what Kevin Durant can. So the scoring aspect, I was not in awe of that. It's what I expected. It's the other aspects. Skip, we've really never seen this Kevin Durant, because he's really never had to be. He had Russ to initiate the offense. He had Serge to do with the rebounding, Steven Adams to do with the rebounding. He goes to Golden State. Someone else, Draymond rebounding, Draymond and Steph initiating the offense, Kyrie, James Harden, Brooklyn. Now those guys have been removed. He has to not only go get you 30, but he better also help get someone else some easy shots also, while getting on the backboard, because they're a very small basketball team. So I was very impressed with what I did last night. I ended up giving him a 9.9 if I was getting him on a scale of 10. Because he only had 2 points, he was 0 for 5, and I think in the fourth quarter, only had 2 points, 2 free throws, Skip. But given his degree of difficulty, I added 1/10 back. So I gave him a 9.9 out of a 10.
Will you give him MVP so far?
Well, after last night's performance and considering the last 3 or 4 games, the way Steph Curry has been struggling, he absolutely should be.
Would you believe that the Brooklyn Nets are now 2.5 games up in the East for best record? 2.5 games up with obviously no Kyrie and lately not much James. Even when he's been there, you haven't had much James.
I think the biggest thing is that Kevin Durant has been unbelievable, even though, like you said, James Harden has not been his particular self. And for whatever reason the case may be, Kevin Durant has been. But Skip, you remember we talked about this, and it was very like, who's the best signing? I said Patty Mills. He's not a big name.
Patty Mills, but he was huge last night at about 5'11" inches tall.
He had 16 of the 29 in the fourth.
He made 7 of 14 3-point shots.
If he doesn't heat up in the fourth, Skip, they're not winning this game.
No.
So Kevin Durant,
and he made the clutch shot at the end of regulation.
That three-pointer. So even with KD overall had an outstanding game, Patty Mills doesn't get hot in the fourth quarter. Kevin Durant's not going to get a chance for his heroics in the overtime.
Cannot wait for Christmas Day.
Oh, you already know what's going on. Bron. Oh, you know Bron do.
Yeah.
You know what Bron do.
Best player on the planet's got that one.
No mercy. Well, the Lakers do visit the Mavericks tonight, where LeBron will look to keep his momentum rolling after being named Western Conference Player of the Week. So, Shannon, who wins?
I'm taking the Lakers. I expect LeBron to keep it rolling. I'm not going to say he's going to score have another 30-point game, although he's been 6 of his last 8 games. He's got at least 30 points. The reigning Conference Player of the Week. AD is questionable, but he's been upgraded to probable. So I expect them to win the game. It looks like Luka's going to be out with an ankle injury. We got this.
You know what? I got to give it up. You got this in a cakewalk.
Now we got it in a cakewalk.
Early this morning, Dallas was actually a 2.5-point favorite at home. Now Dallas is a 2-point underdog because Luka has been ruled completely out and AD is ruled probably in, right? So this should be an easy
First of all, I don't know why we were underdog to begin with, first and foremost. That being told, I don't know why we were underdogs to them.
Well,
anyway.
The point spread just swung 4.5 points in your favor. So you got this. This should be a big night. LeBron should go 30, 14, and 11.
No, I see what you're trying to do. I know what you're trying to do, but it's not going to work.
on 5 threes because LeBron's going to be jacking up threes because this is going to be one of those front-runner games. You
remember what we did last time? You remember we went to Dallas last time? How he circled over the basket and kicked that thing to Danny Green.
It wasn't the last time. It was a couple of years back. But
remember it.
Danny Green's not coming through that door anymore.
Good. You remember what he did last time he was in that door? Bombed the shot in the championship. But we got this, Skip. LeBron can get up that high, Skip.
Yeah, that was good.
You see all them block shots?
Age is just a number.
Not in the house of the GOAT.
Great. Skip, Shannon, we're back. Same time tomorrow. We'll be all over that game. The Herd is next. We call it Enjoy. Have a great day.